Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a very different video than you guys are used to seeing me do, I guess recently. I used to do a lot of takeover videos in the past, or a lot of takeovers in general, but recently I haven't had as much time. But Saran Gas actually reached out to me and asked me if I can do a takeover for him, so I said sure, and I took a look at his account. Guys, Saran Gas is currently 93 days into the game, or 94 rather, and basically he had no direction really on where to go with his account. He wanted me to take a look at his account and just help him progress further into the game. And the thing is, he has so many amazing champions, guys. So I'm gonna say straight out, Saran Gas definitely wailed on the game, right, for sure. But the thing is, he had pretty much everything he needs as a foundation to do pretty much everything in the game. And the only biggest problem is, I guess, the gear was the biggest factor, because when you're this early into the game, you're not going to have much gear, right? Gear is a very, very important part of the game. But if you have specific champions, you can make a lot of things happen, right? A lot of magical things happen. So the first thing I did was take over his, clan boss is something you want to be focusing on first, if anything. As long as you are getting all your daily rewards every single day, that means you're going to get more books over time, more shards over time, more resources over time. And that's pretty much like the focal point, right? So that is something I would say focus on if you are still trying to figure out what you should be focusing on in the game. Clan boss is always a priority in my opinion. So like I said, he was only hitting brutal or hard clan boss at the time, and I wanted to make sure that he was at least getting to the Ultra Nightmare, because based on what he has here, as you guys can see, he has 2 Man-Eaters, right? He does have a Seeker, he does have a Painkeeper, and he does have a Feign. So as soon as I saw this, I'm like, okay, so I gotta mastery up some of these champions, I gotta regear some of these champions, and this is actually a comp I made in the past many of times. But yeah, so basically I guess I'll show you the comp right here so you can, in case you want to build it yourself, right? So one thing I do want to mention is, again, his gear is not good at all. So I pretty much use bare minimum gear, but it's still an easy 2 key for Ultra Nightmare Bat Eater composition. It's an easy 2 key for Ultra Nightmare, it's an easy 1 key for Nightmare, and it's an easy 1 key for Brutal. The only biggest difference is if you have Toxic gear, that is going to help you step into the 1 key territory for Ultra Nightmare, especially with the Feign. So again, bare minimum gear here. We're going to start with the first Man-Eater, who is the fastest on the team. And for this Man-Eater, you basically need, it was between 265 speed and 285 speed. That is a requirement. So we went to the 266. I try to put as much damage as I can as possible, and while maintaining the speed here. And it's not the best stats in the world. The attack is not that great, the crit rate is not even capped, crit damage is not that great. So again, very bare minimum gear. Like I think like half the gear he's wearing is like not even proper. 50% gloves, right? HP chest, you know what I mean? Like it's really not optimal, but it just goes to show you that if you have the right composition, right, and you can get to the speed, Bat Eater is such a powerful composition. So for the second Man-Eater, actually, you know what, let me also show you the Masteries real quick. So the Mastery here, this is something he had already started on, so I wasn't able to get the rest of this finished. The rest he would be the Retribution and the Deterrence, and pretty much that is going to be what he wants to go for. Yeah, so that is the Masteries here, going down to the War Master. And also we want to go with the same Man-Eater basically for the Masteries here as well, right? Same Masteries, but the only difference here for the slower Man-Eater is going to be between 239 speed and 247 speed, and we have him at 240 speed exactly. Again, not the best stats, but he's a 71% crit rate, not capped. Yeah, not the best crit damage, and again, very low attack. So that is pretty much the best we can do here. And for the next champion we'll go to is the Seeker, who is also not the best gear, right? As long as we meet the speed, that's what we're focusing on here. So for the Seeker, all you have to do is beat between 248 speed and 254 speed, but you want to make sure and plug into the Deadwood Jedi calculator for the clan boss and just make sure all the tuning is correct. So that is something you do want to make sure of. But again, the Masteries here we went with is the same thing pretty much, going down to the War Master, and pretty much the same tree. Yeah, and all these champions are fully booked out as well. We want to make sure we have this one on max cooldown, right? And for the Man-Eaters as well, the focus would be the unkillable buff, right? That is the, yeah, we want to make sure those are maxed out. The other two abilities, they don't have to be maxed out, but if you have them maxed, then more damage, right? So yeah, so Seeker once again is stats. I think I already showed it, right? Yeah, I already showed it. So those are the stats for the Seeker, and for the next champion here is Painkeeper. And for the Painkeeper, ideally, again, we could not make any of this work with Toxic gear because he just didn't have any gear at all. So pretty much no one's wearing Toxic gear, which would be more optimal, but Painkeeper is at 240 speed, and for Painkeeper, you can have her at the same speed as the slower Maneater, which is between 239 speed and 247 speed, and again, very low damage, right? And for the for the skills, we do have her maxed out as well. For the A3, that is what you want to have maxed out. For the other abilities, doesn't really matter much. And for the Masteries, pretty much the same thing as all the other champions here. Alright, now, for the Feign, I try to make sure I put the best gear possible on the Feign as far as damage output, because we want to make sure we can do damage. So for the Feign here, we have her, again, not the best stats in the world, but for what he has available on his account, this is the best I could do. So so this is crit capped. Crit damage is not so great, especially compared to the attack. Actually, you know what? I don't know why this has this much attack. It should have way more than this. Let me actually fix this real quick. Okay, we can do better. Yeah, I'm not sure why I was wearing that one. But let's just max this out. Okay, easy. So now we're gonna be doing a lot more damage than before, right? Again, not the best crit damage. This is actually not damage efficient right now. I'm not sure why the Helios calculator or optimizer gave us these stats, but yeah, it's good enough though. So I think this is something I could definitely go back and rework, but for now this is it'll do fine. So ideally you would want to be at about 3000 attack to like 200 crit damage or so. That would be more optimal, but it is what it is. We'll just use this for now. But the accuracy, we also want to make sure that is at least about 220 at the very minimum to make sure it's somewhat efficient, right? 235 would be more ideal, but we'll just use what we have. So we'll use one of these two just to make sure. Okay, that's fine. So we're actually at the mark we want to be, about 220. Yeah, beautiful. And for the skills, fully booked out. And Feign is going to be putting down a defense down and weaken, which will allow the rest of the team to do a lot more damage. And she's also going to be putting out a lot of poisons, which is going to be fantastic, right? Poisons is really, really powerful against the clan boss. So she is also full mastery with War Master and basically the same mastery as everyone else. And those are the stats of this champion. So I'm going to take you through one run through for the clan boss just so you can see what it is. And I'm actually going to show you another another build that I'm going to be working on in a moment that I didn't start on yet, but I see a potential of making. And that's going to be a spider speed team with what he has. I think he could do a spider speed 25 team with like 35 seconds, a 35-second run or so. So that is something I am going to be building right after I show you this. But yeah, so let's just take you through the run real quick, and it's going to be a full auto team. And for the presets here, we have it set up like this. So for the fast Maneater here, we have the A3 as a priority. We also have that as an opener, and then we have Siphon, which is the A2 as the second priority. And for the second Maneater, we have the A3 Ancient Blood as a priority, but we have the Siphon as the opener instead, and also the second priority. And for the Seeker, he's smart, so we should just leave him as is. And for the Painkeeper, we go with the opener for combat tactics, which is the decrease the cooldowns of all skills by 1 turn, and we also have that as a priority skill. And for the A2, that's going to be the second priority. And for Feign, we're going to be opening with the A3, which is the defense down weaken. And that's pretty much it. So once again, I hope you guys enjoy this run, and I'll get back to you right after this is over so I can show you something else that I'm going to be working on in a moment. So let's enjoy this. Alright guys, welcome back. So as you can see, it is a full auto with all the presets already set up, and full auto 2-key easy, right? All that's really missing now is going to be, wait, what is this right here? They should definitely have a different blessing on there, so we'll go back and fix that. But yeah, it should be an easy 2-key all, no matter what affinity it is. Even on Nightmare Clan Boss, it'll be a full 1-key. On Brutal, it'll be a full 1-key auto. Alright, so that was the Clan Boss team. And I did take a look at his other areas in the game where he can improve on, and he can definitely improve everywhere. Like, he's still doing Dragon 22. The Spider was actually the biggest one I looked at. He was doing stage 18, right? 2 minutes and 46 seconds, when he has a champion more than capable of doing stage 25. But the problem is we don't really have much of the gear and not really the silver to roll up everything. We could actually roll up enough, but I wanted to focus a little bit more on other areas first. Maybe we'll make this into a series where we dive into other areas in the game and try to showcase them, and just like, you know, like from here to there or whatever. But yeah, the cold arts, he does have the AoE freeze, he does have the HP burn AoE he has, and the renegade he has. But the best damage you can get on cold art with all the remaining gear he has left is about 180 crit damage, and the other cold art would be like another like 160 crit damage, and it's simply not enough damage that we want to make it as efficient as possible. Yeah, unless we make everybody fast, but we pretty much put all the best gear as far as speed onto the champions that we just put for the clan boss. So I don't think we're ready to do this just yet, and that's pretty much it here. So we might make this into a series, who knows. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you guys enjoy the showcase of the clan boss, and this is the biggest jump I've ever seen for as far as progression for any account I've ever seen. So I did take a look at the DM we just had, and he said that the best clan boss he was hitting was hard clan boss at the time. And yeah, so from going from hard clan boss to ultra nightmare clan boss 2-key overnight is incredible. And again, he's only 94 or 5 days into the game now. So there you go guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this takeover session that I did. It's a nice little change that I did for YouTube, I guess, right? It's a little nice change up from all the sharp pull videos I do. So hope you guys enjoy this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. And if you enjoy my content in general, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video.